Yo, so what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So it's official, guys. We are officially a seven-figure seller in revenue, not profit. At least not yet. But I did want to clear that up, that it's just in revenue and not in profit, because I know a lot of people get fooled by all these gurus and whatnot that, once you hit this amount, that you made that amount. And that's just not the truth, all right? But still, non-regardless, it is an accomplishment that I think a lot of sellers aspire to reach. But to be honest, I think it's just something that's very difficult to, reach in the end. Like, if I'm being totally honest, this is probably the hardest $1 million I've ever had to reach in my entire life right here. The only $1 million I've ever had to reach. So it's definitely been quite a difficult journey. I mean, there was so much in this business I had to learn, so many mistakes, so many L's, so many lessons that I learned throughout the whole journey. And let me just say though, after reaching these seven figures, I do believe that after that, reaching 2, 3, 5, 10 million after that is going to be way much easier and probably faster to reach, to achieve, assuming I have the capital. Because at the end of the day, to reach those higher numbers, it's really just all about having systems in place, the right team, and having the actual capital to spend on inventory like that. And so, yeah, man, I think it just gets easier for sure. But man, it's just crazy though, When I started this journey back in 2019, I wasn't even sure where I was gonna go with this business model. I just, started an Amazon account, took some action, made a few bucks, roll that money back into inventory, multiplying it bit by bit. And then next thing you know, a few years later, boom, here we are now. But it's just crazy, because I wasn't even expecting to hit seven figures so quick for me, because I always thought, like, oh, it's going to take me like 10, 8 years to even see a million in, revenue or whatever. But I didn't have less than half the time, even not even have like less than that. So that's a pretty huge achievement for sure. And I gotta say, man, to reach seven figures, I think you have to be a really different type of seller, because, man, there's just a lot of hard work, systems, and just so much in that process to hit those numbers, that you really have to love this business model. You really have to want it in order to achieve this level of basically accomplishment, because man, it's just crazy, dude. Like, hitting these numbers, like, when you really look at it, like, I look at my screenshots, like, still, and I'm just like, holy crap, that was a lot of work, that was a lot of sweat, that was a lot of blood, that was a lot of tears, and so much in there that you wouldn't expect until you actually see your hard work up till now. And it's just like, whoa, like, everything definitely just built up, compounded, and now we're here, right? So yeah, man, it's just crazy. And for anybody looking to hit seven figures on their first time as an Amazon seller, you better be ready to work. You better be ready to learn, to put in the work, put in those hours and everything else, because, man, it's definitely a ride for sure. Like, it's no easy task, and especially if you don't, you didn't start this business model with a tons of money. I know some sellers, they'll start with a few thousands of bucks, and so they're able to escalate that achievement themselves, which is good. Nothing wrong with that. But then there's people like me and a few others who, we start what we can with whatever little money we have saved up, and we try to compound that money as much as possible. And so for us, we're having to put 10 times more to work, 10 times more to hour, because every single dollar matters. And so when you're trying to compound that money, it really does start to scale up. And yeah, it's just wild. But man, like I said, if you're trying to achieve those numbers, just be ready to put in those hours and that work. But with that being said, also, also want to mention that not everybody needs to achieve this level of, sales in their Amazon business, right? Not everybody's going to want to hit seven figures. Not everybody's going to want to reach those high level numbers. And that's perfectly fine, because at the end of the day, what matters with this business is definitely the profits. So if the profits don't make sense, then seven figures don't make sense. I mean, to me, at least, even on a low 10% margin after all expenses, I'm still looking at a six-figure salary at this point. Obviously, it's probably gonna be more than that, but just on the low end numbers. But also, you don't want to scale this business too much if you don't want to put in that much work either. Okay, so that's the best thing about a business like Amazon, is that if you want to just make an extra few bucks a month, for like some vacation time or whatever, then you can do that. But if you want to continue to grow this business and go for higher levels and change the whole game for you and your family, then that's also an option as well. And that's what I love about this business model, man, is that there's just no limits to this business. There's just nothing but scale growth if you want it. Like I said, not everybody's gonna want it, but for some of us, we do want that, and we'll take advantage of it if we can. All right. But man, like I said, it's just been a journey. I mean, shout out to everybody who's been watching my content up to this point, man. I mean, if you've been watching it since like day one or so, then you know how much we've grown in this business, how much we've grown as a person, and it's definitely been such a long ride. But man, yeah, and shout out to the team. You know, they make this happen. Shout out to my wife and them kids. I mean, it's just been a journey. Because like I said, without all of them helping in the mix of this, we definitely wouldn't have achieved these numbers like this fast. Yeah, I probably could have done it by myself, but it probably would have taken me like 5 more years or something, you know, because trying to run a business like this at scale, it's no joke, man. Like, it's, man, a lot of spent inventory, a lot of prepping and labeling, a lot of IP complaints, a lot of tanked listings, repricing, like all that stuff. It's just, you know, it's a lot. So like I said, shout out to all of them, the team, and shout out to you guys for just following the journey up to this point. Like I said earlier, alright? But man, it's just been a wild journey. And hopefully you guys continue to watch the journey. I mean, I've been trying to post more content, trying to keep you guys updated more lately. That way you don't miss really anything much. But yeah, man, like I said, we'll continue the journey. We'll continue growing, scaling, because, you know, 8 figures is my next basically milestone to achieve, you know. And I can imagine how hard 8 figures could probably be. I mean, it sounds easier than it does, to be honest, because like I said, all I need is the capital to really achieve that, and the warehouse and just everything else in between. But it is definitely a huge step from 1 mil to 10 mil, right? But like I said, all in due time. I'm not tripping too much on it if I don't reach it in like the next year or two. This is all a long-term plan. So, you know, when you think long-term, it really doesn't matter when you achieve stuff, as long as you end up achieving it at the very end, you know. In the meantime, though, I'm going to enjoy the process as I've always been doing so far currently, and will continue to enjoy this journey as much as possible, because, man, if you don't enjoy the journey, guys, there's no way you're going to see those type of numbers and be happy, you know. So, yeah, man, it's just been crazy. But like I said, man, I just wanted to update you guys, wanted to show you guys that, hey, someone like me can do this. And so anybody else who's watching this who comes from like similar background or similar situation and whatnot, you can too, alright? Like I said, I'm just a regular dude, grew up in the slums of the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, from there to around Jackson, Mississippi, and then over here to Fort Worth and whatnot. So someone like me who, you know, no college degree and whatnot can do this type of stuff, man, there's no reason why some of you couldn't do this as well, alright? Like I said, I'm just a typical dude. My background from jobs, just going from warehouse to warehouse. So, you know, I wasn't paid much like that or anything. And now here we are, basically tripling our income with, you know, a business like this. So, but yeah, man, it's just been a while. But like I said, man, I won't take up too much of your time. I'll catch you on the next one. Drop some more valuable content for you guys. And as always, I'm out.